What's good, Boxing World? BFV back in the building. Hit you with another one, too. Boxing news and hot topics. First up, you see the man on the screen, the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. In the news, based on the fact that he's still ranked number one, and Mauricio Suleiman does believe we'll see him sometime this year. He also brought up the fact that 2 and 3 has a fight going on for a WBA eliminator, and that's Joe Joyce and Parker. So maybe will we get Deontay Wilder against that winner for a WBC interim, giving unified interim champion some limelight, which is be unusual to have a unified interim champion, but both situations would be interim unless by that time Fury gives up the belt. And he didn't speak on the time limit for Tyson Fury. Next up, we got Hearn in the building. We're gonna let him speak, and then I'll double back with my comments.
Decision? What decision would you make?
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit biased because I just love the Gennady Golovkin trilogy. And now I think it's even more intriguing because he's coming off a defeat. If he was to lose to Gennady Golovkin, where does he go? You know, I mean, you're talking about losing at 175, losing at 168. You're no longer a world champion. Like, of course, he's Canelo Alvarez, but still, back-to-back defeats like that. So all the pressure right now is actually heaped on Canelo Alvarez, and you don't know what defeat is going to do to a man like that. You know, we know he suffered one years ago against Floyd Mayweather. He was a young man then. You know, can he bounce back? Is he affected by that? Has his confidence gone? All these different roles but also I would love to see the rematch. I think if I was advising him, or if he actually listened to what I thought, which he'll ask me my opinion, but as I said, we don't make the decisions. I would probably go Triple G, Dimitri Bivol. That's what I would probably do. And we'll give Dimitri Bivol a big fight, in September, October, whether that's Waxy Richards winner, whether that's Callum Smith, whether that's Ramirez, but the rematch is a mega fight. I mean, you've got the two biggest fights in boxing right now actually are Canelo against Triple G and Canelo against Bivol rematch.
Now that Eddie shot us, Bill, let me give you my 1-2. I do believe Canelo Alvarez, or Saul as I'd like to start calling him more, will be headed on his second European tour. First stop, John Ryder. I don't think he wants any real smoke. It makes no sense for a Bivol rematch because, in my estimation, he's not going to want to pay Bivol his just due. So that right there is going to stall out negotiations, and he's definitely going to start looking for these easier fights to build back up his fan base and get them back to supporting him and elevating him as this elite fighter that I do believe is breaking down and doesn't quite have it anymore. So we'll find out. But again, you heard it from me. I think he'll be fighting John Ryder, man. Last up on this boxing news and hot topics is news, obviously. And we talking about the top ranked card going down in Las Vegas this weekend. Pretty lengthy card. A lot of youngsters that are on this card that I think we got to keep an eye out on, because we just seen what happened to the young prospect, Evan Holyfield, and he took a nasty KO. I doubt very seriously if any of the young guys on this card, Duke Regan, Tiger Johnson, are in real deep waters, but you still got to be leery of your competition, man. You got to be on point at all times, and hopefully they remember that loss from Evan Holyfield, and they'll stay on their 10 toes. You got an upcoming guy in Charlie Sheehy, another guy that, you don't want to lose the built-up steam behind you by taking a loss too early in your career. So I'm just keeping an eye on this particular card from that aspect. But as far as the co-main and the main event, I think 2 solid fights. Jamel Herring definitely deserves respect. Jermaine definitely deserves respect for taking on Jermaine Ortiz, solid youngster, hard puncher. So, I mean, you coming back from a loss of your title, and you steadily, I wouldn't say deep waters, but you're in strong waters, so to speak. So you got to respect Herring for jumping up and take that. But the main event, man, another interim situation for a WBO middleweight champion, and maybe, after your boy comes off the injury, and that's DA, he might end up seeing the winner in this particular contest. So we'll see what happens in the future after this, and like always, we do that live. So tap in with us, Goodfellas Podcast.